and summing. I glanced up to see if it was the black-braided merchant casting a spell on the blade to make it more appealing to passers-by, but he was at the end, talking to an old lady covered by long, silver hair about a flowered china chamber pot. The voice murmured again,
"Thank the smith. I thought you were never going to listen to me."
"I heard you," I said pleasantly. "Have a nice day." I prepared to pass on to the next pile of goods. The voice grew frantic.
"Pray, friend, don't go. You may hear something to your advantage."
My ears pricked up. Pervish ears are well designed to hear things to our advantage, being shaped not unlike those of bats, who can hear noises up into the highest decibels. We can hear sums well up into the 15 figures. "What could you possibly do for me?" I asked, keeping whatever interest I might have out of my voice.
"First, friend, cleanse me of the grime of this place."
"How?" I asked.
"If there be no enemy to strike, a sharp rap on a stone will do it."
"Why not?" I said. "I don't carry weapons. Pervex like myself are well furnished by nature with defensive armaments, such as hide tough enough to turn a fairly sharp blade, yellow claws that could as readily disembowel an opponent as poke open a can of beer, and 4-inch pointed teeth capable of ripping into anything, including the cheap steaks at a truck stop. Still, I know how they're used." Scaring the pair of arachnoids next to me into dropping their egg sacs prematurely, I swept the sword up over my head and knocked the blade on the ground. It hummed. The corrosion just exploded off it. I covered my eyes to protect them from flying rust. When the dust storm settled, I found I was clasping a gleaming brand with a blade of white-hot silver and a hilt of chased gold studded with cabochon gems of the pure colors of ruby, amethyst, emerald, and sapphire that made my palms itch with unrealized profits. The eyes, now free of the film that had veiled them, were sharper than ever. I had seen eyes like that while playing dragon poker over the top of a hand of cards, as my opponent wondered if I really held an elf-high flush or if I was bluffing. These made an intelligent search of my person from head to feet.
"A pervert,"
it said.
"I have both aided and killed your kind."
"It's perfect, you hunk of tin," I snarled. The eyes closed briefly, as if the unseeing being was bowing its head in apology.
"As you will. Your people have attained a higher status than they had when I last saw Perv. Pray, friend, buy me, and hastily. I would be away from this place. I will see to it that you will be reimbursed tenfold."
"Tenfold, eh? Well, that was a pretty good return on an outlay. Still, I don't have amniotic fluid clinging to me anywhere. In case you didn't know it, Skinny, you're a sword. Where are you going to get the money?"
"I will tell you my story, if only you will remove me from this locale. I fear that danger may lurk about us soon."
I observed just then that more people than I had realized had taken notice of the transformation of the flea market sword from letter opener to museum piece. I gave them a good glare and showed my teeth. They backed away, careful to keep their hands and feet far away from my mouth. I shoved the sword back into its shabby sheath and dragged it carelessly over through the dirt to the being who owned the stall.
"Ah, good Shah,"
the Itzchalkian said, turning his mass of braided fur my way. He eyed me nervously, but he wasn't about to drive away a potential sale. He peered at the weather-beaten tube of leather in my hand. I kept my fingers wrapped tightly around the hilt. "I see you have chosen one of my favorite artifacts. I am sure you appreciate its value." "I sure do," I said. 5 gold pieces and not a copper more." "5?" the man asked, his face transforming spectacularly from oily accommodation to outrage.